Hey Sylvester, how you doing? All right, so got your work up here. Really nice looking banner. That's beautiful work. Very, very good. Um, in the Welcome to Week 6 announcement in the video, I had recommended that students include their their magazine ad along with the banner ad, so we can check for consistency, visual harmony, and successful adaptation therein. Looks like you didn't see that or didn't have a chance to post it. So we just have the banner to look at. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now, I think the banner is fantastic. I really do. I'm not too worried about this. Remember on my comments before, I said try to avoid really encroaching on the couple with your text, but it's okay. There's enough here that the image itself visually communicates the message intended. So the fact that the type here kind of covers the top of her head. I think it's perfectly fine. I don't see any issue with that whatsoever. If you're concerned about it at all, what you can do is just take the image itself and move it down a little bit in the banner. So just so this is more towards the very top of her head. But again, or see if there's any room on the left hand side where we can move them over just a touch. Those are both feasible alternatives, but to be honest with you, I don't see it as being an issue at all. Great job with your type. The animation, I think, is done very well. I think it's blinking a little bit too much, and I think the reason being is because the fade out is really slow and gradual, but the fade in, it just kind of blinks in. I would fade that in, fade it in, have it visible for a second, fade it out, then fade it right back in so that there's no point in time where it's not visible. Do you see what I'm saying? And I think that'll definitely help. Now, the other thing, other than that, I think it's beautiful. Now, the other thing you mentioned is you're a little concerned about the placement of the flowers. And I agree. And I think one of the reasons is you just can't tell these are flowers. A lot of students have elected to use these kind of tropical flowers as their masked images. And as you've seen, some of them work beautifully. This one is a little bit difficult to tell those are flowers. So a couple of things I would recommend is to get those stems out of there, maybe, and or maybe even select a different flower. I don't know. You seem to think that there's an issue here, and I agree. It's creating a little bit of uncomfortable visual tension. So experiment therein and see what you can do. Um, Another really neat idea is just to take portions of those flowers and see if you can maybe even mask this area out. These flowers with the baby's breath here, and maybe assemble some kind of a little configuration right up here in the corner, just to kind of tie those flowers with that, and that may just work beautifully. That'll open up that area for the banner itself. But again, I'm not super concerned about it. I think it's a very successful ad. I'd say if you, at the very least, I would take these flowers into Photoshop and do an adjustments layer just to bring out some of the contrast in those flowers. And I want to check one more thing here because I'm seeing something I'm a little concerned about. Yeah, it looks like the logo itself has been distorted. And it's really difficult to tell, but I'm almost positive it has been. If you take a look at the shape of this logo mark right here and compare it to this, yours seems to be a little bit thinner and a little bit taller, indicating a distortion. If we also take a look at the counter area of the cap A, you can also see that little pie shape right there is a little different than this. It's a more elongated. What this is telling me is that the logo has been placed, okay? It's been resized, but it's been resized this way without constraining the horizontal proportion. That's called aspect ratio. And to use industry-specific language, I would say that when you resize the logo, be sure to constrain the original aspect ratio of that logo so we can avoid any kind of distortions. Check that. You may consider replacing that. At the very least, take a look at the style guide, look at those shapes, and see what you think. It could possibly be a PDF rendering or a GIF rendering here on the way that it's posted, but I'm pretty sure there is a distortion associated with that logo, so be sure to check that. Other than that, looking fantastic. Nice work. Questions, comments, or clarifications, please let me know. I'll be glad to glad to provide anything in that regard. And all right, good job. Thanks, Sylvester.